Think of it as a brain and muscle peptide. Think of it that way. Most people think of it as muscle, but what it really is doing, here's why I like it. It's actually an energy producer. Number one reason, it helps you make ATP. Where are the most mitochondria in general? I'm not gonna count the woman's eggs. Women's eggs have more than everybody. We're gonna not count that right now. Otherwise, brain has the most, second then is the heart. They need to make an insane amount of ATP. They are energy hogs. They use a lot of your calories, and because they need to get all these electrons and protons in there to make ATP. That's the whole point. Well, creatine builds up this phosphate pool, which just leaves a bunch of these phosphate groups around, like, ooh, and the system goes, oh, damn, we got a whole bunch of phosphates. Make more ATP. ATP, the P is the phosphate, okay? Yeah, phosphate. It can make more ATP quicker. That's a good thing. I gotta tell you something. So 2 things. I'm gonna talk about creatine. Creatine monohydrate is a peptide, and peptide therapy is an amazing thing, you guys. So I offer peptide therapy support. I sell peptides. I can customize peptides. You can take some in capsules. You can take some nasal. You can take most of them are injections. People always want to know that. I'm like, most are shots, and if you can't handle it, then we got to do other things. Okay. Now, a really great, like probably the cheapest peptide on the market is creatine, and nobody really thinks of it like a peptide. So it's 3 amino acids. So what is a peptide? A peptide is like, think of it like a mini protein. Okay, so like you got a protein that has this many amino acids. It's got a whole bunch of Lego pieces. What's an amino acid? It's a Lego piece. If we start putting Lego pieces together, it turns into peptides. For example, insulin is a peptide. You know what that is, but you're like, oh, it's a peptide. Growth hormone is actually a peptide too. Like these things are, you put a bunch of amino acids together. It's not really a protein, okay? Just, there you go. All right, now, you have amino acids that are essential. It means you have to eat them, you can't make them, and you have non-essential ones, meaning you can make them. Okay, great. There's just a primer. Okay, so, I'm gonna talk about creatine, because I've been posting a little about creatine. Creatine, people think of it as a muscle peptide. It's also a brain peptide. I'm gonna go through like the benefits, what creatine is, what is it made of? It's made of 3 amino acids. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna tell you why would you wanna take it? These are the benefits. And I'm gonna isolate specifically the mental health benefits of it, why I like it. But first I'm gonna apologize. I've been posting a little bit about creatine, and people were asking, what brand do you take, Dr. Rimka? What do you take? Like, what does Stephanie take? Okay, that's my name, Stephanie, in case y'all didn't know. Okay, great. So, I was like, it doesn't matter. I didn't want you to be hyper-focused on what I take. And what I said was, great, yes, I sell creatine. I have a supplement dispensary. I would prefer you buy your creatine from I prefer you buy it from me. I prefer to make a couple dollars. I prefer if you learned about it from me, why not buy it from me? It doesn't cost you more money, and it's a way you support a person. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. I just make a small percentage out of my counterfeit proof, physician grade, potency guaranteed dispensary. Okay? And you're not getting ripped off from something, some fake crap out of some container from China that honestly, you guys really need to understand, this is a massive industry of fakeness that's happening. Okay, so I am so sorry if the blower, I have a neighbor obsessed with blowing. It's clearly a major issue. I've never seen a human being blow leaves this much in my life. Now, that being said, so I said, it doesn't matter. Go to my full script, okay? It's in my bio, it's on my website. I give everybody 10% off just for being, and anything you buy. You can buy collagen, you can buy vitamin C, you can buy quercetin, you can buy zinc, you can buy vitamin D3, K2, you can buy all kinds of things. 20,000 products on there, right? Now, I was like, it doesn't matter. Well, my brand that I've used, I've only taken one brand ever, creatine monohydrate, from Pure Encapsulations. That's all I take, but I didn't think it mattered to tell you that. Well, they are back ordered. So I ordered something else. and I've been taking it for a little while. I ordered a different creatine, and it has jacked mama up. So, I apologize for telling you it didn't really matter. Because apparently, good Lord, doesn't matter. I have never been so grateful for topical lidocaine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. So since I was up till 3 in the morning, exploding my brains out, dehydrating myself, I haven't been able to lift weights. Again, you have to distrust what's happening. I'm not going to push myself. I couldn't even sauna. So what was happening is I wasn't always taking it because I would have it. I normally have creatine in my coffee, but this one tasted funny. I'm like, oh, it's changing the taste of my coffee. So I'm like, so I stopped. And I would just do it in my like amino acid pre-sauna, pre-workout thing. Well, I was so weak from all of the explosive dehydration, like diarrhea I was having. I'm like, I can't handle it. I cannot tax myself. I can't hike. I can't walk. I'm like, I can barely get through the day. I am drained. Okay. So I was feeling better because I didn't take any of it for a few days, and I finally was bound up like normal. I'm like, whoo, I guess I'm okay to do it again. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna make my drink. I'm gonna blah blah blah. I'm a creatine and do my stuff, and I'm gonna sauna, and I'm gonna work out, and I'm gonna cold tank. I'm gonna do my things. And then it all started to happen around 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and I was like, ding 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 ding. Took me a minute to figure out I've been poisoning myself basically with a different creatine. So because they were out, I bought something else on my full script. It's not like it's an unsafe product, but it's not creatine monohydrate. It's actually creatine magnesium, and it has, don't get me started. I'm never taking it again. So I take Pure Encapsulations Creatine Monohydrate. Now the name in and of itself, monohydrate, it hydrates. People get worried, oh, water retention. It's not water retention, it's hydration. It's intracellular hydration. That's what it's actually doing. You need hydration. Okay, so why do I take creatine and why do I suggest it? Okay, it's 3 amino acids. So that being said, there's my disclosure. 1, yeah, when you buy stuff from me, I'm making a little bit of money. Duh. 2, good God, which one you buy makes a difference, because it's been a horrible 8 to 10 days. Horrible. Horrible. Okay. I apologize for telling you, oh, it doesn't really matter. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm sorry. Wow. It is made of arginine. You've probably been hearing a lot about arginine in immune systems. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a great article talking about arginine as a treatment protocol for, the what that shall be named publicly, or we are shut down. Yep. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Go on to BitChute and look it up. Don't go to Google. You are not going to find it there. All right. Methionine. Methionine is your number 1 methyl donor. Methylation, methionine, methyl group. Love it. If you think you have a methylation problem, you best have enough methionine. Okay? It's in meat. Glycine. Glycine is bone broth, collagen. Okay? Think of that. Methionine makes muscle. Look at my finger. Methionine makes the muscle. Arginine's immune system. I am so electrolyte jacked. That's fine. Glycine. Think bone broth, collagen, tendons. Both of those, they're all in the meat, just so you know. But these are really high in the meat, people. Glycine balances out methylation as well. Yeah. Shocking how they come together. So, already you can see what the kind of stuff it does, right? So this is what it does. Think of it as a brain and muscle peptide. Think of it that way. Most people think of it as muscle, but what it really is doing, here's why I like it. It's actually an energy producer. Number 1 reason, it helps you make ATP. Where are the most mitochondria in general? I'm not gonna count the woman's eggs. Women's eggs have more than everybody. We're gonna not count that right now. Otherwise, brain has the most, second then is the heart. They need to make an insane amount of ATP. They are energy hogs. They use a lot of your calories, and because they need to get all these electrons and protons in there to make ATP. That's the whole point. Well, creatine builds up this phosphate pool. It leaves a bunch of these phosphate groups around, like, ooh, and the system goes, oh, damn, we got a whole bunch of phosphates. Make more ATP. ATP, the P is the phosphate. Okay? Yeah, phosphate. It can make more ATP quicker. That's a good thing. All right? It speeds up muscle recovery. It's very much known for that. It does increase intracellular hydration. That's what I said. That's why the name is monohydrate. It doesn't make you retain water. That's false. If you're doing this stupid loading stuff, you're going to have problems, period. But that's just a normal 4 to 5 grams a day. You're fine. All right? It promotes bone health. So these are a lot of athletic things. Why a lot of bodybuilders are known for this. It increases endurance. So athletic endurance, it does that. Also, though, it increases immune response. Again, arginine, right? Methylation is involved in the immune system and all that stuff too, but it's interesting because of the arginine. Now, in particular, it has benefits for mental health, right? Brain, and I want you to remember, brain health is mental health. That's all. That's the story that everyone's not telling you in Rockefeller medicine. Brain health is mental health. You don't have good mental health, it means something's wrong with your brain. Just fix the brain and look, the mental health thing goes away. Oh, right. Okay, so just know that. All right. It improves cognitive function. It actually does help you perform better cognitively. That's awesome, right? It particularly does that extraordinarily well in vegetarians. So vegetarians are really deficient in all the amino acids to make enough creatine. Many people, even if they're still eating a lot of an animal-based diet, still do well to supplement with creatine, believe it or not. There's a reason for it. So it increased cognitive function. I love that because it's brain health. It supports testosterone production. And not everybody thinks of testosterone as being involved in mental health, but it is critically involved in mental health. And we're seeing a testosterone deficiency epidemic. Honestly, the levels are shockingly low in men and women, and it's dangerous. So you need to be doing everything you can to support testosterone, and creatine monohydrate does do that. Okay, it stabilizes blood glucose. Blood sugar issues are very well known to be causing a lot of mental health symptoms, and they're a root cause of emotion, mood mismanagement. Right? It helps make a problem much worse. It is gasoline on a fire, right? So we always have to address blood sugar stability issues with any mental health issue. It's why what you eat really makes a huge difference with any mental health distress you're going through. It supports methylation. I brought up methylation before with the glycine and the methionine. Methylation is a major factor in mental health issues. Massive anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, suicidal ideation. Methylation is a major issue we have to look at and see what's going on. It is probably one of the primary reasons people end up on vegan diets with so many mental health issues. It's because they just simply can no longer methylate because they don't have enough methionine. If they don't have enough of the B vitamins, they don't have anything to do what needs to get done. Okay. What we've just figured out, they've done some interesting studies on this one where I was like, oh, it's fascinating. It looks like what it's doing, Pookie, is counteracting sleep deprivation. So that's one of the reasons I like it. I can feel what it's doing for me in terms of energy production with cognition, and being that I've had just a crisis of sickness in my own home, and me being the caretaker, I haven't slept well in about 1.5 years, just dealing with a chronically ill dog and other people that need my attention all night long. It was paused through the connection. So it helps with supporting you when you're sleep deprived. So I do really love it for parents. And now again, with creatine, it's going to take about 4 weeks for it to build up in your system. So it's not like you take it and it's not a stimulant. You're not going to feel it the next day. All right. Also, it definitely has a possible risk of the possibility of lowering, if you're at risk for depression, particularly in women, the studies have shown, if you have enough creatine. So that's why I love creatine monohydrate, and why I suggest it a lot, and it's usually great. Some people can have some gassing and cramping with it, and I have found as long as I have the right product, they're totally fine to take it. But after I didn't accidentally order something, and I knew it wasn't monohydrate, but there was nothing in stock, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be without it. So I'm like, well, let me just try this creatine magnesium. Horrific mistake. I had no expectation that would have me cramping and on the toilet and slave to, like, I'm afraid to walk the dog. Like, I don't know about going out of the house right now. Like, I was going to go horseback riding. I was like, I'm going to have to cancel this. I can't. I'm going to have to tap out on the horseback riding. I want a free thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm all excited. I'm like, oh no, I'm not, can't do that. Okay. So I saw a question, what's the best time of day to take creatine? Ultimately, whenever you can take it. There's some evidence to be said for, taking it before any type of strenuous physical activity would be good to store it up. Like I said, I would typically go with 4 to 5 grams a day. I'd say a smaller woman, 3 to 4 grams is probably sufficient. A dude, bigger, 5 grams a day. Expect it to take 3 to 4 weeks for it to build up the creatine phosphate stores in your body again. Okay, so you really start to feel it. I just always put it in my coffee in the morning. That's just easy because it was tasteless. The Pure Encapsulations. This shit I have, it's disgusting. I'm not doing it. Never again. So if there's some science about better times to hack it, I don't really know. Usually almost everybody, we just do it first thing in the morning, or like in a pre-workout thing. I was doing it in my pre-workout thing, but I realized maybe sometimes every day I didn't do that. If I skipped the sauna, something happened. Then I just found I'd just rather do it every single day, like clockwork, in my coffee. And the Pure Encapsulations Creatine Monohydrate on my full script. I love it if you get it from me, but zero taste change. I mean, you don't even know what's in there. Pure Encapsulations. So if you go to my bio, there's a link tree, and it says shop for stuff I sell, or shop in my store. Or I'll drop the full script. So there are physician grade dispensaries, right? Full script is one. Emerson, Wellevate, Carewell, giving you an idea, like these general things that clinicians, any doctor, right, who has an NPI number, a national provider number that we are registered with the freaking government and all the bullshit. We have access to things to provide to our patients, and they hook up directly with our electronic health record systems, and really it kind of like whatever system you're using, they have agreements with them. So there's really no difference between full script and Emerson at all. I used Emerson for many, many years because I used a certain electronic medical records, and that's who they had an agreement with. Fine. I switched to somebody else, and they said, oh, but the thing you got to know is they use full script, not Emerson. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Turns out they're pretty much, it's the same stuff. It's the same governance. It's the same looking it over. It's the same prices. It's the same commission to me. It's the same. It's just, I don't know why there's so many different companies, but it just is what it is. There's a few. I use Carewell and full script, because Carewell provides some things I can't get. So that's where my Carewell dispensary are like kind of my more high-end expensive products, I'll be honest. Like the whole Cellcore line and things like that are there. Parasites and detox and heavy metal chelation protocols and things. Mold that are bundled over there. Very limited products. The majority of everything on full script carry the full Qualia line, Quicksilver, Pure Encapsulations, Metagenics, Apex, Seeking Health, Body Designs. I mean, just your top end, counterfeit proof, potency guaranteed. They're actually checking things and not just grabbing, the crap off the containers from China. So, if you have any questions on creatine, again, my apologies. It's think, it doesn't really matter because it was a shit show for me. And I didn't even mean to say that pun, but it was. But it is a, potential. Does everybody need creatine? Absolutely not. I just found for me and recovering and getting back into the sauna and starting to lift some weights again and trying to rebuild my muscles at almost 49 and after injuries and after the mold illness and creatine has been a very nice support for my body to help add on some muscle, to help with brain performance when I've been in a chronically sleep deprived state, sometimes waking up 5 to 6 times a night to deal with my dog being so sick and having to go outside so he wasn't peeing at my house and stuff like that. And in an emergency, I mean, he's been in the hospital 7 times, I think, in the last year. He's pretty stabilized now, but it's been really bad. Diabetic, and he ate something poisonous. People always want to ask. He ate some poisoned animal, we think, and it destroyed his pancreas. He was almost poisoned to death. And it's just been a nightmare of figuring it out and keeping him out of if he gets a hold of a dead chipmunk, it's another $3,000 hospital, me crying excursion. I'm not ready for my dog to die. I'm not ready. No, that's my little angel. He's not a dog. I'm very clear on this. This one is, I've had a lot of animals, and you all know what I'm talking about. Not all your animals are the same. This one is not normal. And he has come here. We did not rescue this dog. He has clearly rescued me and my son. And I'm gonna cry thinking about him. So anyway, that's my year has been tough. So I've used creatine and it's been very, very helpful, keeping me going, brain performance wise with sleep deprivation. And I'll save it. Yeah, it'll be posted, Kat, if that's your name. But if you have any questions, so I'm gonna sign off. It's a great supplement. No, everybody doesn't need it. I have just found it very, very helpful. It is it does carry it's like the world's most studied and researched and published supplement on earth. I mean, creatine monohydrate, you don't need anything fancy. And I got this other stuff. If somebody here in Decatur wants to try it, knock yourself out. If you're having bowel problems, it'll clean you out. Yep. Wow. I wouldn't actually wish this upon anybody, but I'm glad to know. Like, I thought, I mean, I had a mechanical bowel cleanse, whether or not I knew I needed it. So right now I'm just rehydrating a lot, salts, minerals, and I'm gonna take it easy. Bone broth. I'm just like, I can't. I mean, that stuff makes you hurt. I need a massage. I mean, if somebody wants to massage me, I'm happy. Oh, Jennifer, you're the sweetest, Jennifer Young. Message my office for something free. What do you want? You're my favorite doctor. See, if you want to get free shit, that's how you do it. All the kids in my office, right in the brick and mortar, when they would say, like, say it was my birthday, and they find out, how old are you? And they say, oh, she's 46 and 45, whatever. And like, Dr. Rimka, I thought you were like 27. And I'd be like, I love you, baby. You can go in the prize box. Go, get a prize. So like, well, I'm like, get a toy. This child, like, don't tell anybody, but I'm not 27. So, Jennifer Young, if you want something, send me a message. We'll see what I can do. I'll hook you up, because you're sweet. All right, I think that's it. It's a great supplement. I have a whole video on it on YouTube you can watch, explaining it's an energy producer. And it's a brain thing. Go to my bio, or wait, what? MTC? Medium chain triglyceride? I don't know what that person's talking about. And if I knew, you drink coffee with hypertension. So I gave up. So Aries, it depends on what your situation with coffee is. There are times, so I drink Purity coffee. I do sell it on my store. It's way better than Bulletproof. I drank Bulletproof for years. You want to make sure, if you have a mold issue and a thyroid issue, Purity has no mold, and it's roasted in a very specific way where I'm getting tremendous polyphenols and antioxidants. I like it. I didn't start drinking coffee, just as a side note, till I was about 40, 42 maybe. So I'm newer to coffee in terms of a lot of people, right? I didn't drink this. I didn't like it. And my taste buds changed after becoming a mother. I was like, ooh, wow, why does this taste like chocolate now? Ooh, big hawk. That's why I keep my Pookie long hair. I don't want them grabbing him. Anyway, so you might not be able to. I do look at genetics on this. I am a caffeine fast metabolizer, but you definitely want a mold free. I don't drink just any old thing. And sometimes, I hate to tell you, but some people, coffee hits the genetic code like gluten. And so there are some people that can't. And that's it. I noticed when I did some experiments, when I would go off of it, my mood tanks. So coffee boosts my mood. I definitely get neurotransmitter support, and I will gladly take it. So I'm not stopping it. Other times I may heal things in such a way I don't need it. But it depends, Aries, best on that with you. Everyone's different. But I would try my coffee. If you want the link, it's in my store, or send me a message. I have a lot of people who can drink Purity that couldn't drink anything else. You know, it's not the cheapest coffee, but it is the healthiest coffee on earth. So, yeah. So what Kion is, so Rhonda, just no disrespect, selling other people's products on my live. I consider it rude. I don't know why people do that, but Kion, that Ben Green, it is Purity. He's white labeling the exact same coffee I sell. He's just white labeling it. He and I drank it at the same conference, actually. So he and I tried Dry Farm wines and Kion and Purity coffee at the same conference, and we were talking about it. So that's my story. I didn't get drunk with Ben Greenfield, but I drank wine with him. And because he's such a brilliant business person, he is just white labeling Purity coffee. Literally, that's all it is. So just there's that. But I sell coffee. So I find it fascinating. When other people come onto your feed and like they sell their shit, I'm like, don't you know that's kind of rude? I mean, and I've seen like doctors do it. I'm like, wow, did you really just try to come in here and steal like, my patients? People got some balls, man. I'm just like, etiquette, MTC, CBD oil, and coffee. Yeah, what about it? I don't do any of that in my coffee anymore. But I keep Brain Octane from Dave Asprey's Brain Octane Oil. We're not talking about creatine anymore, but that's in my house. I keep it in my house all the time. I think that is that's an outstanding MCT oil. It's only the 8 carbon caprylic acid. Very, very well done. You know, it is good for daily use. You don't have to have it. It does help the liver make ketones, which fuel your brain, keep it clean. But I like it for post-brain trauma, concussion. I mean, I tell people if I'm in a car accident, you come into the hospital and you open my mouth and you start dripping in. You make me drink this Brain Octane Oil, and I want keto on demand. I want ketones. I want all of it if I'm in a coma. I hit my head. You make me make ketones. You come into the IV. You get Dominic D'Agostino. You get him to inject me with and do neural feedback on me while I'm in a coma, because that'll get you those 2 things. I'll be fine. Oh, thank you, Sarah, Carnivore Yogi, bought on my full script. Yeah. And so everybody, it's so much better than Amazon, and everybody gets a 10% off, and patients get like 15, and some people have been with me longer, 20%, my courses. We give more % off. I only have so much wiggle room on there. It's not like a wholesale. I can't, cut you too much, but I can do a lot. Oh, your mom's probably putting you. Should I be worried about magnesium, stearate, and silica in my supplements? It depends. I don't want you to be worried about anything, because worry doesn't help you. I don't have a light out here, and I'm about to get really dark. Is it detoxing? I don't know what that looks like. Oh, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, they didn't do that with my dog, though. Yeah, that's... Oh, Aries, you're so sweet, positive, optimistic. You're so sweet. I just had a man tell me how negative and frustrated I was. I was like... Who are you? Like, why are you guys? I'm like, I'm usually smiling and in a happy mood on my videos, so whatever. And I did want to reply, oh, do I seem frustrated to you? Maybe because I'm in a fucking world war, and I'm like, but I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm like, you know, I'm a 48-year-old single mom. I mean, you gotta cut me some slack sometimes. Shit. I might be I seem frustrated. Yeah, I do seem frustrated. You know, shit. There's not enough chocolate in the world to make up for what I'm going through. Oh, Rhonda, okay. That's it. It's the creatine monohydrate I'm talking about. Yeah. I do a sublingual CBD. I would never put that in my coffee. It would make it disgusting. Plus, you're not going to absorb the nanotech that way. I don't do MCT oil anymore, medium chain triglyceride, every day. I used to do all that now, but I don't do it anymore. How does it synergize out keto low carb dieting? I don't really know what you're saying, but how does like creatine synergize on a keto low carb? Fonz protects. I don't really know the question. I don't understand. If I understood it, I would answer it. Why? Who's saying I'm sorry? Oh, you're fine, girl, Rhonda. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I apologize if I sound like a bitch. I didn't know you sold coffee. No, I know. It's okay. I'm losing my light. I didn't cold plunge today, y'all. I'm not going to do it because of the diarrhea. Oh, yes, girl. My safari is on. Yes. Well, yes, it's on. We're also planning on it, you know, to South Africa. It's just a matter of South Africa, right? They had shut down the safaris because of the sea thing, the thing. So it was shut down. So we had to move it. And then we could have gone recently, but my people and me, we're more like freedom and autonomy, sovereign people. And we're like, I'm not doing what the airline, I'm not doing. And the way it was, it took like it wasn't the way the flights were because of this chaos. It would have been like 35 hours and multiple stops versus a non. And so I let my group decide. I think I have 5 spots left. I let the group decide, and the group decided to push it out. So yes, it is still on. I mean, we still have it all booked. They're doing safaris again. The bush is very gentle and mild. It's for next year. And it's going to be even better because the animals are now, like, no people have been there for a really long time. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Yes, it still is. So if you want to message me, we'll give you some more information. And that's a good idea. You need to get maybe a group Zoom with everybody again, just to kind of reconnect. And like hook you up with Elaine. Yeah, retreat, guys. Oh, Rhonda, you're so sweet. Okay, how to get in ketosis. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Stop eating shit. How about that? Ha! Don't eat crap and don't eat so much. Don't eat so often. And you'll go into ketosis. But that's a bigger thing, Jay Gotti. But it's kind of not that much rocket science. Your body is designed to do it. It wants to do it. You just have to stop. You're kind of like cock blocking it. Yeah, that's what's happening. But you can always book an appointment. Do a Pick My Brain. I can teach that or take a course with me. But, you know, I could also do a video on it. It really kind of comes down to put down the donut, take your ass outside, go for a walk. Don't eat for a couple days. And if you want to make it real fast, just don't eat. I know I say that funnily, but I do like fasting a lot. Okay, I'm going to go then. I was just all over the place on this one. I don't care. It's kind of 0 F's given at this point in life. And I have about 3 electrolytes left in my body. And like I said, to all the mamas out there, I am sure men go through this, but I know all the women who've been pregnant. Let's say all the women who's been pregnant. Oh, you just don't understand the kind of pain you could have down in that region until you go through the kind of pain in that region. And I'm really grateful for topical lidocaine. I'm gonna leave it at that. So creatine monohydrate, it's awesome. It's a great supplement. I hope this explains. Go to my YouTube if you want to I do a little lecture thing. I like it for mental health. It's cheap. That's what's great about it. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to do a talk. I was going to do ADHD. I think I'll do this. But again, it's been really, I've had a hard several days. But I want to do an ADHD nootropic, teach you about a couple things that maybe some of you don't know about for your kids or yourself. I will do that, I hope, one day this week. I'll do another live on a great, on the ways to differentiate and to help yourself and your kids. I'm getting very nervous. This is the time of year with parents, the teacher conferences, and the notes are coming home, and you know, ADHD, everybody wants to drug the kids, and I'm all like, please don't drug the babies. Please. There are so many things to do first before you go there. And if we have to go there, why don't we talk about, I don't know, let's just leave it at that. Just, you gotta do foundation things first. And we're doing a great disservice. And I'm very frustrated with Rockefeller psychiatry and their lack of holistic thinking and their lack of big picture viewing and their lack of understanding the brain. I just don't understand how they don't understand the human brain, and they're trying to treat it. So I need you to understand so you can be empowered when you go in and you can fight for your children, because there's a war on kids, if you haven't noticed, and it's pissing some of us off. All right, on that note, have a great night. Hope it was helpful.